All right, we're on day 57 already. Get your day 57 worksheet and let's get started. Capitalization is on your own. Punctuation, let's go over it. Use an asterisk, that's the thing that looks like a little star, to refer to notes in the margin or at the end of a section or a page. And their example is MSS period asterisk, which is the abbreviation for manuscripts. So now here they have number 2 listed. And when I first read it, I couldn't figure out what exactly we were supposed to do. And then I saw down here underneath this line, there's an asterisk, okay? So the asterisk is referring to something up in this sentence. It was just hard to see. So let's take a look. Their senior play is Gone with the Wind. It will star Ira Naja, Joy Fee, and Rex Kuhn. All right, so we have something that was adapted into a musical because we see that little asterisk. So I think it would be smart to find that thing first of all. All right, their senior play is Gone with the Wind. If you don't know, Gone with the Wind is a play, and it looks like this one was probably adapted into a musical. So what you're going to do is, first of all, remember from doing the quotations and the underlines for articles or plays or movies and books, we have to determine Gone with the Wind. Well, it sounds like in here it says the senior play is Gone with the Wind, so it should be underlined. So you will underline Gone with the Wind, and then after the word wind, right above it, you would make an asterisk. And that asterisk will refer down to the adapted into a musical. All right, so let's look at the rest of the sentence. Their senior play is Gone with the Wind, semicolon. We have 2 closely related clauses, both of which are independent. So we put the semicolon there to link them together. It will star Ira Naja, comma, Joy Fee, comma, and Rex Kuhn, period. We have 3 things in a series, and if you remember, the comma rule is that you would separate those by commas. So what do we have? Their senior play is Gone with the Wind, underlined asterisk, semicolon. It will star Ira Naja, comma, Joy Fee, comma, and Rex Kuhn, period. Moving right along, we have pronouns. His self and their self are incorrect. Instead, use himself and themselves. Then your instructions are to write a sentence using a reflexive pronoun. If you remember yesterday, you received a list of reflexive pronouns. They were things like himself, myself, yourself, herself, themselves, ourselves. So what they want you to do is write a sentence using a reflexive pronoun so you can come up with that right now, right now on your own. So it could be something like, I like chocolate myself. The dog was looking in a mirror and began barking at itself. Okay, so come up with your own sentence using a reflexive pronoun. Moving along, we have a little interesting section coming up. Parts of speech nouns. A few nouns are the same in both the singular and plural. And the example is moose. You have 1 moose, you have 2 moose, you have 3 moose, you have 4 moose. It's always moose, whether there's 1 or many. The plurals of some words change forms, and their example is radius in the plural becomes radii. And then they have the plurals of some words ending in O add S, while some add ES. And their example is logos, which just has an S, and potatoes, which has an ES. Then they ask you, write an example of a noun that ends in O and adds ES. Write an example of a noun that ends in O and adds S. Write an example of a noun that changes form. And finally, write an example of a noun that does not change. Okay? So, to be honest, I had to look these up. I couldn't come up with very many off the top of my head, so I have some lists here that perhaps will help you. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is go to B. Write an example of a noun that ends in O and adds S. I learned something. Maybe you guys already knew this. If a word pertains to music, it will only add an S. And what I mean by that is piano is a musical instrument, and so pianos just ends with an S. A soprano is a singer, and the plural of soprano just ends in S. So I have a list on here that I will show you. You'll also see some of the other ones, but cellos, sopranos, pianos, solos, those are all words that relate to music, and they all just end with S. Other words now that end in O, but in their plural form you add ES, would be words like tomato, tornado, domino, hero. And for those, you add the ES, okay? So you can see, you can pick one of those. And then for B, you can pick one of those. And I'm going to tell you, because I think it's only fair, that also when I was looking up these words, except for the ones that end just in S that relate to music, oftentimes these words that end in OS or OES can be interchangeable. I think that over the years, enough people misspelled them that the spelling people just gave up and said, all right, we'll accept tornadoes if it's spelt, Tornados, because so many are spelling it wrong anyways. So anyways, OES, ES, S. Write an example of a noun that changes forms. Okay, this would be things like child becomes children in its plural. Mouse doesn't become mouses, it becomes mice. What else do we have? We have person. Person generally becomes people, although technically persons can also be used. But the plural of person is people. And then something like, ox. You have one ox, you have two oxen. So I have those listed. You can pick one of those or come up with one of your own. So those are words that change form. And then the last section is words that are the same whether they're singular or plural. And what we have here are words like deer, fish, moose, sheep, shrimp, swine. Sounds to me like a lot of animals just stay the same from singular to plural. All right, if you're not sure on how to spell some of those words, I wrote them down for you. You just need to list one. All right. I'm also going to try really hard to remember to send you all a link of Brian Regan. He has a really funny segment. It's about 5 minutes long on things like this, spelling rules, and just how goofy they are and how funny they are. He's a clean, humorous comedian. So I will include that link with this week's grammar so that you may watch it and hopefully have a chuckle or two. All right, last section is sentence combining. I know you guys know how to do it. Good luck and God bless you.